time. It is Optic Gaming versus Luminosity for what is one incredible matchup here to kick things off. Well, to wrap up really day 2 of CWL Anaheim. And Joe, I'm pumped, baby. This is gonna be fun.
I am as well, but you know, a lot of the matches that we cast typically end up 3-0s.
Not this time. Not this time.
During stage 2, Optic Gaming, they ran over Luminosity, but I have a feeling this one's gonna be a little bit different. Luminosity, they've had a little bit more time to get better. They've shown some improvement, but Optic, they look darn good this weekend.
And you know, these guys, the organizations have met up a ton throughout this year, really. Atlanta, Birmingham, Seattle, all in bracket play. Stage 1 playoff. Stage 2 is the most recent one, though, and it was a hot 3-0 for Optic Gaming. Anaheim, let's get it going. Map 1 underway.
Yep, both teams just fighting for this statue control. Formal, he's getting some kills on the board, eating up that time. Methods rocking that bar. You see double ARs off the start. We'll see if those teams stick with that. We've been switching up the meta. Sometimes you have double bars. Sometimes you see one STG. So we'll keep our eyes out on that. But Optic, they get the kills they want. And there you go. You can immediately see the spawns that come in for Luminosity. Optic doing a great job flipping for Main Street.
And Joe, one thing worth noting here, Optic is currently 10-0 in respawns. They haven't been outslayed in a single one. They've been dominant. If LG is going to win this series, they got to get one somewhere.
Yeah, and that's scary as well for Luminosity, because their search and destroy has not been the best. We've talked about it during stage 2. It's where they struggled a lot. So we'll see if they can turn it around here. But the kills are going down. Octane, he finds a couple, make it 3. And they're going to win that rotation over towards Main Street. Now Luminosity, they get a pretty solid spawn, but you have Methods cutting them off from this middle of the gate. Methods, he can be a key guy, able to find one. We'll see if he can find some more. He can. Locking it down for his team. Finds 3 as well, and now you just have Crim on the hill.
Yeah, it helps having ARs like Octane and Methods. You see both finding 3 pieces to get it set up here on Main Street.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Formal isn't missing. He's at 11-3, but his team not in the hill just yet. But just like that, there goes John.
Formal, you know, he didn't get the outcome he wanted in that first matchup. You know, Octane playing against his former team, Formal playing against his former team. And it was an absolute blowout, a bloodbath during stage 2. But here, maybe some revenge. It's 31-31 now. The rotation battle's now on for the Docks Warehouse. John trying to win some key gunfights here, but you can see on X-Ray, there's a whole lot of green here, Joe.
Now there is. Luminosity, they push for that scrap time, so it's gonna be a 4 versus 3 down low. And Octane, he's able to find a couple. Methods finds one on Slacked. So John, now he's just gonna wait for his teammates. LG with a 15-point lead, but you already have Crim6 inside fire, and he's in a great position. He's gonna find another one on a J-Cap, just staggering that Luminosity push.
A great hold here at Docks Warehouse. You're going to have another crack at this. One's going to spawn out deep for Optic Gaming. So you have a bit of an edge here if you can make the push. They're trying to find an opening.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Holding inside the window. The collapse starting to come in, but now Scump's got involved in the action. He's the one that spawned out deep and was able to make the play. And what crispy shots there at range as he's able to pick up Formal. So you've gotten all this time so far in Docks Warehouse, and you have the top spawns. You're getting set up for Barrel. This rotation, this is where Optic can really open up a nice healthy lead here.
Yeah, Methods has a one-on-one with Slack to the back. Slack dives across the barrels of Methods, able to pick him up. The rest of LG, they're pushing this lower Docks time, trying to get that scrap time, but looking at the scoreboard right now. Formal, 16-8, double positive. Everybody else on LG, double negative. As you said, you can't get outslayed by Optic Gaming. They're perfect right now in those respawns. We'll see if they can turn it around, but Formal is going off.
Yeah, I mean, Formal's having a great game, but like you said, slow start from everybody else, but I think you feel pretty good if you're LG with this current scoreline, considering how slow the start was from 3 of your players. You think John's gonna pick it up at some point. In his last series, he really started to crush down the end of the respawns. If he starts to get it going, could be very scary for Optic Gaming. But Luminosity right now trying to collapse from both sides. J-Cap was in to contest for just a moment, but finally, Luminosity able to get the clear with 30 seconds remaining on Barrel.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of Formal in the kill feed. You've seen a lot of Octane as well. He's at 18-8. Both of those ARs rocking that STG on this London Docks map. As Optic Gaming, it looks like they're going to get this scrap time. J-Cap trying to contest a little bit. You know, he's always the X factor for LG. Able to find one on a Scump. John finds another. And they're going to win this rotation or win this scrap time, and they're going to head down towards Crane. John able to win that one. A good job by LG. It looked a little bit scary there, but they brought it back.
Absolutely. You know, you got beat up at Barrel. Got beat up a bit at Docks Warehouse, but at Barrel, you're able to at least contest, find some time, and if you can clear out Methods here with that headshot from John, now you're looking to sit pretty here at Crane. But there's already a lot of pressure coming from this lower dock side. As I say that, John continues to eliminate the pressure. Some nice shots up to top mid to slow down Octane as well. The call out should have come into J-Cap. Maybe he thought he pushed into fire?
Yeah, if JCap goes lower stairs there, he's able to get a couple of kills. Instead, he goes inside fire, and Methodz is able to win that. If he pushes down, he's there, and there we go. 4 go down for Luminosity. Optic break on in, but LG, they do get low water spawns. What does that mean? A lot of nades on the hill. Octane, he's going to be pelted by him, but he's able to stay alive, doing a great job right now. John finally takes him out, and both these teams just training here at Crane.
Yeah, they were able to soften him up, I think, with several nades that came in, and finally John got the kill, but we're just about to hit the end of our first set of rotations. Joe, any big takeaways thus far?
I mean, we talked about it, sort of the ARs on both these teams. Octane and Formal really stepping it up. If you're looking at LG, Slacked, he's at 6 and 18. He needs to turn it around. But, you know, from what we've seen through Hardpoint throughout this entire year, usually that first set, that first rotation, pretty close. It's that second rotation of hills. That's a difference maker. And right now, we go to that Statue Hill. JCap, he's on it, but how will Scump and crew break?
John roaming here in lower docks, just trying to get any pressure from the rotation out of Crane into the hard point. But you see the kill feed starting to look very green. Formo at least able to pick up one, snaps onto a second. He's finding all the kills for Luminosity, but the rest of his teammates now coming off of spawn and trying to get involved in the action. Unfortunately, they run into the bar of Methodz and a team kill there from Slack. So Slack's woes continue. Not only is he 6 and 20, but when you're picking up team kills on that push to mid-map, it's not going to help you out, Joe.
No, definitely not. With 20 seconds left, we're going to start talking about that Main Street hill. You can see on the right side of your minimap, all those blue arrows starting to get pushed up, but you have Crimsix, you have Methodz here. They know that rotation's coming in Optic. They try to pinch through gate. Formal able to find Octane, but yeah, he's a little weak. Crim's gonna get pushed up. This is a great rotation right now for Optic. If they can stay alive in this position, this is where that large lead comes through. They continue to out-rotate LG, but there's 3 kills for LG.
They gotta go, they gotta try and get in. Unfortunately, you're running into Methodz. He is #1 overall in respawn KD at a 1.39 right now. He's been that last line of defense at times for Optic Gaming. When he's needed to go big, he has. And then you've got the king, Scump coming through. It looked like LG had a nice chance to pounce, get shut down.
Yeah, and that was really one of the key things in the first set of rotations is LG, they were getting out-rotated, but they were fighting back. They were getting a couple of key kills that allowed them to get some scrap time. But this is what we talked about. Formal, he does find a couple, but they don't have the spawns. He has no help here. And with 25 seconds left, you can already see those green arrows. Number 2 and number 3, that's Octane and Scump. They're going to push towards that low water. And they're doing a wonderful job on those rotations. Once again, LG fighting for scrap.
And this is just, it just does Slack pick it up as the big thing for me here. If he starts to come alive, you're still very much in the game, right? Yep. You're down by a little under 70 points.
And they win this rotation.
And you win the rotation. They can get this done, but Slack's got to turn it on. A performance like this where you're triple negative, you just can't win games like that when somebody's suffering that big. But now let's see, this is where Optic Gaming destroyed Luminosity the first time through. They look poised to do it again unless Slack can get something going. It's gonna be bar in hand now for him. He's picked up a couple, snaps to one more, and that's 3. We mentioned he had to pick it up, and maybe that's the moment that gives him a little bit of confidence in this game 1.
No, but Crim does a wonderful job. He's just contesting this hill, and he's able to win that 1 versus 1. What that allows him to do is allows help to come in for Optic. No time going the way of LG. And yes, JCap, you can see he's on a 5 spree. He's starting to pick it up very close to those streaks. If he can get those, maybe that's some tool and utility to bring them back. But once again, Optic doing a wonderful job pushing on through. They shut down JCap. They're winning that rotation towards barrel building, but you can see actually Cold Spawn's coming and Methodz, he's all alone in the back.
Methodz at least able to get 2 in that scenario, but yeah, you still spawn blue truck there for Luminosity. But now some streaks actually come in from the Optic Gaming side. It's Crimsix that picked it up. He still has a chance for his tier 2 and tier 3 streaks. So not only did he shut down JCap from getting streaks, but he's getting some of his own. That was a big moment for Optic Gaming there.
Wow, yeah, I mean, Crim stayed alive that entire time. That entire lower docks warehouse, there you go. He gets that fighter pilot. LG, they do have control of the back spawns. They're fighting back, and yeah, like you said, Slack starting to turn it on a little bit. 15 and 26. He's running that bar. He's running that flex for Luminosity. JCap, he's running a submachine gun. So this is big time for them. Will they invest in streaks? Is Optic Gaming going to do it and try to just get on this hill? Just stop this momentum as JCap and John find some kills.
So far, not investing the streaks yet. Methodz trying to hit from the lower train side, but JCap hunts him down. He's able to take that gunfight, and this has been a very solid hold. Yep. Luminosity, it looked like it was getting away from him, but as Slack picked it up, they get right back into it. And JCap, he had a 5 streak earlier. He now has 4 in a row, and John turning up down the stretch is exactly what you need for LG. That barrel building hold has made this a game again.
Only down to by 30 seconds now is Luminosity, but I'm still worried about those streaks. You know, that Crim6 is able to get in Crim. He's able to find 3. He's at 30 and 26. He's starting to step it up. And we saw last night, Crim is the X factor. When he's shooting this well, it is so hard to beat this Optic Gaming team. LG, though, they do nade Scump out of the hill, so there's nobody currently in it. But Crim, he's starting to push the back. And you can see both these teams really on both sides of the map.
And he's getting close to picking up another glide bomb potentially here, but he is going to call on the fighter pilot. Here it goes. Going to be called in. What can he find? Gets all the information on 4 players, but really, I mean, at least slows them down. It prevents them from putting any pressure on this. No needs able to come in. No presence towards the objective, Joe.
Yeah, he was probably happy as soon as he calls that in and sees 3 guys coal room, right? I mean, he's like, all right, well, we have a good solid hold here. They're able to get around 20 seconds. If they get this scrap time, they'll be within 20 to close out this game number 1.
Crim6 still has the artillery to work with and still working towards these streaks, able to take that gunfight. 125 away from more. Slack not able to take him down. Just needs 1 more kill and assist. Anything that comes through from this artillery as he may find more streaks. A 7 streak now for the Crimbot. 34 and 26. A minute and a half in the hard point. What a performance from him as Optic Gaming only need 19 more seconds. And on the other end, it's Scump finding streaks. Scump picking up 3, and they're looking to bury LG here.
Yeah, and I think they're going to do it. Just 15 more seconds needed. And once again, just the slaying power of Optic so strong. You have Methods quietly at a +12. You have Octane +6. Crim turned it on at the end. He goes on a couple of big streaks. Glide bomb on in. Game 1 should go to Optic Gaming.
They just need the final couple ticks. Here they come through. Optic on the board first. The fans loving it here in Anaheim as you get a great performance. You know, there was a couple things we talked about. Is Slack going to pick it up? He did start to, but maybe it was a little bit too late. And then also John, who I saw really go off in the end of some of the maps they had against E6. He took over down the stretch in a bunch of those games. It was Crim taking over. It wasn't John taking over down the stretch.
No, that's a great sign for Optic. I mean, you had a bit of a slow game, I call it, from Scump, but you know, you have Crim right there and just a double AR setup for Optic. People talk about this meta, about this roster change. It works out so well for Optic Gaming because of Methods and Octane. That duo is so tough to beat, and you see it here. I mean, yeah, Formal had a great game, but Slack really struggled. If you're a bar player, if that flex player is going to struggle on a map like London Docks, it's going to be so tough to win.
And I think if you're LG, like that could have been even more of a blowout. Like when they started so slow like that, if it wasn't for probably Formal going off, you might have got those streaks a lot earlier for Optic. And if that happened, it would have got out of control way before it did. Like that was closer than it maybe could have been in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times where Luminosity, you know, they hit some scrap time. They were able to get themselves back into it. There was that one barrel building that, you know, felt it was a solid hold, but you head down to Crane and Optic, they get them so far pushed out. You have the fighter pilot from Crim6, a wonderful job on London Docks.
Well, now we're going to transition into Search and Destroy. It will be on Valkyrie, and a key player from Luminosity you have to watch is going to be John. He's accounted for 40% of their first blood, so that's an insane number. I mean, we usually talk about in the Pro League, you're flirting with 20%, you feel good about that. John's been an animal at finding those opening picks, but this is going to be just an uphill battle. Again, these organizations have matched up so much throughout the course of this year, but these 2 exact rosters have only played once. And I can't say it enough, it just wasn't a series. Optic just manhandled them.
Yeah, and that's why if you're Luminosity, you just want to extend this series. We talk about that a lot. Even with the old Optic Gaming roster, how did teams beat them? How did they get under their skin? It was this Search and Destroy. It was this game mode, right? Get to a map 4, get to a map 5, put the pressure on them. I feel like if LG don't take this one, this could be another quick 3-0 for Optic.
It absolutely could. You got to bounce back here and take this search. Any thoughts about these 2 teams on Valkyrie in particular?
I know it's a very strong map for Optic Gaming. You know, we saw them yesterday, you know, play last night. They showed a lot of great things on offense. We'll see how LG tend to defend it. And on the LG side, I think you're right. I think you have to look at guys like John and Slack. They're going to play on that inner bomb site. They're going to have a lot of work to do. They need to win those one-on-ones.
That's a good point, because you know, Slack did have a really poor game 1, so if that carries it all into this Search and Destroy, with how important he's going to be to this, it'll be tough. But all eyes are going to be on John for me. But Slack is the guy that, I mean, does he need to drop double digits? No, but he just needs to show up in a bigger way for sure. I think you see it's on his face. Like, he knows he let his team down.
And he's typically a guy that loves to play Optic. He lives for this situation, right? I mean, LG have owned this series at the start of the year. They were 3-0. You know, they knocked Optic Gaming out of tournaments. Then Optic, they make that roster swap. You saw it in stage 2. But Slacked was the one key guy on Luminosity who played well that entire series.
And think about the last time you saw that, the greatest roster of all time, that Optic roster, the last time you saw them was Seattle against Luminosity in the losers bracket where they smoked them. It was like, it was kind of an awful moment if you were an Optic Gaming fan to have it go out that way. Just again, how much history you have between these two orgs and all of these players. But you see here, lacking in attack. Luminosity has only won 34.78% of their attacking S&D rounds during stage 2. Now, one thing to point out, I remember the stat from JP earlier.
It was Optic, right?
It was it was Forest that they really struggled. That particular map on offense is where a lot of their rounds. So that's one thing that bodes well. I guess you're not headed to that particular map, but still, we talked about it a lot, like why couldn't they figure out the offense when the defense seemed to be working? But here we go, map 2, Optic currently up 1-0. Let's get into the search. It's Luminosity on offense first.
Yeah, and I think to the opposite side where LG, they have a 34%. I think we saw in the lower third earlier today, Optic Gaming on offense have a 60% win ratio. So
that's right.
It's a tale of two sides right now. John, open up this map with that sniper. We know how dangerous he can be. Methods with a nice shoulder peek, but he's just gonna back down. And now Optic, no, that's a lot of information. It's very difficult to push these bomb sites with that sniper rifle.
Maybe gonna rely on John to find some kind of pick here. Pre-fire. I thought it was pre. Oh, John! Johnny boy just rips Scump and finds 2 with the snipe. Oh, that's the way you change around in a hurry. Crimsix now in a 1v2. That was filthy, filthy stuff.
Yeah, and I think he just got the third one right there. You saw John what he was doing. He was rocking scoped on that sniper rifle that allowed him to zoom in and really just strafe around that site. And that's why he's able to hit that first shot. The second shot, yeah, that was disgusting.
Wow.
He finds 3 on Optic. A great first round for Luminosity.
That was insane. I thought for a second Methods was like pre-fire in the corner, expecting to push, but no, he picked up a kill on JCap during that. Just unfortunately, they got world starred by John once he got to the corner. So that's big though, to get that first round on the board for LG after a pretty brutal loss in the game 1. And we talked about the first blood percentage of John. You know, it's Methods that actually gets the kill, but you can almost chalk that up as something special, at least for LG in the opening moments of that.
Yeah, now looking at this defensive setup from Luminosity, they have nobody inside that A site, and Optic Gaming knows that. You see Krim already starting that plant. JCap and John, they're going to try and work this elbow, but once again, a retake with a sniper rifle, very difficult to execute. John, he's going to get taken down. That's another first blood for Methods as he finds 2 now, a 4 versus 2 for Slacked and Formal. Slacked able to bring it back, but there's a flank coming in from Octane. That's a nice pinch out of Optic Gaming. Now Formal left in a 1 versus 3.
Not a lot of time to work with either. Able to win the one-on-one against the opposite AR and Octane. That'll be Formal's first kill in this one. Grenade on the Methods. He's got him weak, but he's got to make a play. There's no time to work with. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Some nice movement there coming in from Methods as he has a huge, huge round in that.
And this is what a lot of people were the most excited about when these Optic Gaming roster changes went down, was the search and destroy stats that both Methods and Octane have, and you can see it right there. Methods, so what, he picks up 3, maybe the ace. We'll have to find out.
I know he had the first 2
round.
and the final one. Was it the ace?
Nope.
No, 3, okay.
Scump stole it.
Oh, Scump. Formal and company now talking it through before we head into round 3. Methods. Let's stick with him. He's got both first bloods in this game. He's been a machine early on. But it does look like a quick push is going to come in towards Scump and Crimsix on this site. It's going to be Slack, the bomb carrier, just kind of waiting for maybe JCap to get some information. Scump playing it patiently inside. What do you think about the setup from LG on offense right now?
It seems like Formal and John are trying to maybe just set up like a trap. I saw they were able to catch out Octane on the flank their last offensive round. Maybe they know that he loves to push up on that flank, get storage bunker control. So maybe they're just waiting for him, trying to really just be outpatient, right? But John, he's going to push on through. Scump, he's going to find first blood on JCap. Slack, able to get 1. But the trades just go, and there we go. Octane pieces. I think he's going to find all 3 as well.
I believe he did. We'll see it in the final kill cam here, but I'm pretty sure Octane just shredded everybody. There's the first 2, and the final one. Formal beam there mid-map. What a play from Octane. And that's now, what, 3 rounds, 3 first bloods, all going to Optic Gaming, and you see the stats there for Octane. Maybe not what you expect from him in Search throughout this event, but the CTF and Hardpoint KD certainly there. And Hardpoint, he's mentioned he hasn't had to be that like hard carry with his team. He just soaks up time in the Hardpoint and plays his life.
Yeah, he just hangs out. But we'll see. I mean, the only round win from Luminosity so far has been due to John, and it was that sniper rifle. As Optic, they're going to push towards this B site. Smoke goes down. Formal's going to chuck an aid, but he's going to back on out, just play his life. So that's going to give Optic that B site. So LG's going to have to play the retake. And here comes Jean playing very aggressive, able to find that first blood on the Methods. There's that first blood finally for LG, but Scump able to trade it out.
Instantly traded, and Krim guns Formal in the back, so they've now got the site, but Slack's actually still here. He's still set up inside. He's got Scump pinned in the corner. His help is now coming in. He's going to peek the edge, and Slack going big in this one. Now it's Octane who has to clutch. Gets a couple bullets into Slack. He will be stunned up. JCap wants to push it. Just runs in without his gun up. Gets beamed, but Slacked able to make the play as he comes up with 3 big ones. Seeing him rebound nicely after the struggles in game 1.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's, I think, a confidence play in round 1 from John. A confidence booster right there for Slack. A huge round from him. As you said, he's able to find a 3. I mean, Optic Gaming brought that to a 3 versus 2. After that first blood went to John.
It's actually crazy. These rounds have been decided. What, John got 3 kills in a round, Slack got 3 kills in a round, then the 2 Optic wins were, what, 3 kills for Methods? And then
3 from Octane.
3 from Octane. So yeah, it's been like somebody having some kind of just heroic play that's decided all 4 of these rounds thus far. But great from Slack early on, 6 and 2, leading the way, most kills from either side. Looking at the defense now from Optic Gaming.
And once again, a very slow round from Luminosity. They haven't really pushed much off the start of an offensive round.
It looks like they're trusting John to get a pick. I mean, it seems like they're playing around it.
I mean, I love it, but it's risky. I mean, because if he doesn't hit that first blood shot, it's so difficult to push a bomb site.
Well, we'll think about it over the course of the game. You kind of lull Optic to sleep a little bit maybe with these slow rounds, and finally you hit something quick and they're not prepared for it. That could be the game plan. Still, John, he's getting into territory you likely don't want to have a sniper rifle. Octane backing it up as he feels some pressure coming in from Skull, but he'll get back to safety. A one-on-one here with Formal. Gets a bullet in, hopping over to JCap's POV. He actually, Formal got a couple shots in there, was able to get the grenade on. Nice first blood.
Yeah, but there we go. JCap finally able to get a kill. I was going to say, Optic Gaming, they just pinch on those 2 players, John and JCap, towards the elbow. Formal and Slack, they had a bit of a split push right there. They pushed the B site while John and JCap tried to push towards that operations bunker. Just like that, it's a 2 versus 2.
A big 2v2 here in round 5. Formal and Slack against Methods and Crimsix. Formal spots 1. Crimno able to duck away, re-peek, and barely. Formal comes out on top of that one. Now Methods has to try and clutch up. 25 seconds on the clock. He's got Formal in the close corner. Does he check it? Checks right. Looks left. Oh, what a gunfight victory for him, but he's got to go. 15 seconds now on the clock.
It's not planted for Slack. It's not planted for him.
One clutch here. He's not going to hop it. Not gonna hop it.
And this is big. If Slack gets his kill, he's close to streaks. Can we go over to Slack? Oh, he's not gonna get that kill. So Methods does get the final kill. It slows Slack down from streaks, but a great round from LG. You know, I like the play. They know that Octane plays solo on that site. Formal and Slack sort of bait him out. That gives them that B site.
I thought Methods had a chance when he won that gunfight against Formal as he was laying in the corner. Had an opportunity.
Yeah, if he's got 5 more seconds there, the clutch is on, but I think just with 15 seconds left, it's so tough to find Slack and defuse that bomb. But Optic back on attack. And we'll see what they do. As it looks like a lot of aggression towards that operations bunker. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on the JCap, and he gets melted by Methods. Another first blood from him. He's at 8 and 2.
Whoa, okay, well, John answers back with 2 snipes yet again. John, you freak of nature. That's his 5th snipe in this one, at least. And now, turns the tides into LG's favor after the first blood, a 3rd first blood for Methods. Now it's all gonna fall to Octane. He has to try and clutch, but Formal's got his number, and LG now up 4-2. I think we're seeing why John's keeping the snipe out.
Yeah,
wow.
Just ridiculous shots from him. He pokes out of that A bomb site. It's not even like, you know, those are long snipes. He's up close and personal with these guys.
We've all been saying Dashy's the best sniper in the game, you know, over these past couple weeks. John making his case for it right now. Oh, whew. Excellent. Game 2 underway, but Optic in a little bit of a hole here. Down a couple of rounds. Trying to bring it back, and that comeback will need to happen here on the defensive end of things. We know it's been a very slow offense so far from LG. When did they decide to mix that up? It looks like it might be now, yeah. So this is it. They've been sniping constantly, but John playing around picks. Now they want to go for the early hit. Let's see if they can make it work.
Yeah, so they smoke off that middle street, but look at the rotation for Optic. They send 4 players back. Octane, he's gonna find that first blood on it. John, that's a huge kill. Can he find the second? He can. Now a 4 versus 2. One LG player does dip across, but a great round from Optic Gaming. They read the smoke so well. They rotate on over, they clean up LG.
A very, very fast rotation, and Octane obviously in the power position, the first to engage, and finds the 2 opening kills. So what do you do now if you're LG? You know, you found maybe a little bit of success, well, behind the sniper on offense. You had to have some magic from John, obviously, but you try to get a little more aggressive, and it doesn't really work out at all.
I would probably throw those same smokes, show a little bit of presence towards that B site. Knowing how easily Optic Gaming rotated out, you have a free A plant. I mean, obviously, that may not always happen, but you have a round like that. If LG realizes it, they might have an A bomb site for free.
Optic looking to tie this up at 4 apiece with a round victory. Formal's going to deal with a lot of pressure here. He goes ahead and goes through the smoke. He's trying to get the edge. He's going to catch a couple there. Can't get the second, though. Scump able to make the trade. So now the B-bomb site under control for Optic Gaming in a 3v3. They're getting the plant down quickly. John's trying to get there as fast as he can. Can he catch it when he gets to the edge?
And Crim's stuck on the bomb. There we go. There's a gunfight. He's able to find that one now, a 3 versus 2.
And that's great from John, just the pace at which he was able to get here. They check bomb with a grenade. Not hopping it yet. Still working to find these final 2 kills. Methods weak. Spots him in the corner, but Scump able to help. Now a 2v2 with 25 seconds to go. JCap there for 1 trade. Slacked in from behind, and there's the 5th round for LG. Phenomenal retake, and I think a couple key things for LG. You know, you get that first kill in Formal, obviously. You get something before you drop, so you give your team a chance in the 3-on-3. And then John just getting there so quickly that Crim couldn't really get to a safe position after the plant.
And what I loved was the confidence from Formal. I mean, we talked about it. His decision-making hasn't been there. He feels like his confidence is lacking a little bit. He sees the smoke and he runs through it. He throws that stun and takes the gunfights to Optic. At least finds one.
And he could have maybe taken a left there and gone to kind of the back brick box, but instead he gets aggressive. Almost pays off with 2. Now 1 round away, our LG from tying up this series at 1 apiece. Of course, we've got to check out John. He's had some phenomenal shots over the course of this game too.
Yeah, this is the LG. This is what they've been doing. And looking at those first bloods, you have 5 for Optic, only 3 for LG. But the round score 5-3 to them. So we'll see what can they do. And it looks like once again they're relying on this sniper rifle, and why not? What can he find? But Scump, he goes from the lower side, able to catch him off guard. Now what does Luminosity do? This is the issue with this strategy. If you find John, if you find that first blood, it's so hard to get back into this round.
Maybe gonna need a little bit of luck here, but the clock's starting to dwindle. Octane holding the edge. Nice grenade in. Slacked is going to get picked up, but JCap answers back. Formal and JCap now going to have to clutch in a 2v3. They have to get this bomb planted, though. Neither of them has been able to pick it up. Only 30 seconds on the clock to work with. Methods has the full cross here, so at the very least, he's going to get the information and a kill. Formal picks up 1, though. Yeah, I don't know what options he had there. It's either try and challenge 1 gunfight. Not really an option to get to safety with that little bit of time, but nice round there from Optic Gaming.
Yeah, it was just Scump finding that first blood. That's the key play right away. Take down John. John has been the key playmaker for LG on offense. So if they can continue to do that, they can steal this map.
And it seems so risky. Like that's their game plan. Like you're having John try to funnel into ventilation room and find a sniper.
Hey John, run into A and get a snipe.
Can Optic push this to a climatic round 11? They got to take it here. Scump almost with another first blood. They have 6 first bloods for Optic, only 3 for LG. Make it 4. Slack able to get with a grenade. Crim6 at least able to get out with
Crim's
the bomb
lucky.
and his life. If he drops bomb there, yeah, they're in a whole lot of trouble, and well, they're in a 2v4.
Yeah, I felt like he should have gone down. Yeah, Methods, he's got a lot of pressure on him. I love this play from Luminosity. They're going to put it to him. JCap takes him down. Octane, the last player left. He gets shut down. Luminosity tie the series up 1-1.
No 3-0 here. It was the dominant 3-0 in stage 2 for Optic, but this one seems like it could go the distance, Joe, as LG answer back.
Yeah, I think that's key. I think that's key for their confidence. Once again, as you said, the 3-0, I'm sure it's in the back of their mind. They know they didn't play their best, but you know, just being able to take it to another hard point. If John Slacked, if they can wake up, this is going to be a hell of a series.
Here we go, Anaheim. We have ourselves a series to wrap up day 2. What an incredible series we have on our hands. It's a CTF coming up next. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Luminosity vs. Optic Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got it all here. We've got former teammates, friends, enemies, MVPs, world champions. This is one hell of a matchup, Joe.
No, it definitely has. It was a big search and destroy by Luminosity to be able to tie that series 1-1, but Optic, they look so good in that respawn game mode in map 1, and well, we're headed to Arden Forest CTF, and we've talked about it a lot, how tough it can be to play Optic on Forest, just due to Methods and Octane, that double AR setup. If Scump and Crim can get going with those subs as well, this could be a great map for them.
Yeah, you feel like you have just two lockdown ARs. Like you can basically hold two lanes just with those two players. So good at positioning, playing from those power positions. And they're so patient. I mean, one criticism of someone like Formal is sometimes he leaves those positions, get caught. Octane and Methods, they're gonna hold it. But well, speaking of Formal, he's able to find a kill early in this. John tacks one on as well, so Octane almost immediately gonna have to wrap back from his base and leave that power position at top ruins.
Yep, LG, they get early cabin control. You can see where Formal is. We talked about that positioning. And well, there's that aggression out of Formal. He peeks this sort of ice tunnel. He gets taken down. That's 3 dead for LG, and this is where the pressure comes on. And well, Octane's gonna call out, hey, slash towards ruins. Let's put the pressure on Bunker. They're gonna have to wrap back to their base, and this is a first attempt for Optic Gaming.
Crim, welcome to Nade City, but Scump there to get the pull. Everybody else dropping though. He should be in trouble. There's a big one-on-one on the other side of the map, but Slack not able to take it. Octane goes big. He's been slowed down though. Scump slowed down by the stun, and the return will come in. So back and forth we go. Some opening pressure from LG. Optic didn't able to get a pull, and now Optic has to play off the back foot.
Yes, they do, and what we talked about, well, I'll get to it in a second. John, though, he's putting some pressure on. He's able to find one, and LG are going. Formal's pushing the back as well, trying to catch Methods, but Methods just playing ring around the rosy. Octane finds a kill. No flag pull just yet. Finally, he's able to get out, but another 1v1. Crim versus Formal. Formal wins that one, and on the other side of the map, you have John who finds one on Scump. This is the first attempt here for LLG.
John and Formal, the slaying duo you want on this team, both going big on other sides of the map. Methods is gonna get picked, and this should be the first strike. Luminosity running one home and silencing the crowd here in Anaheim. There we go, there's the LG fans. And I was gonna say Formal, so close to streaks there.
Away. I was just about to talk about it. He was all the way up to 580, but he gets beamed out of Bunker by Octane. And now here comes that pressure from Optic Gaming. You have Slacked here towards his Bunker side, but he's the last player alive on this side of the map. Some big kills going down, and he loses that one to Octane. So now a lot of pressure on Formal. Oh, well, catch that one, Octane. He's pretty weak.
All right, headshot with the Simtex as he just drills him. But Crimsix was still able to get the flag out, and that's a big kill at mid-map from Scump. He might be able to help him out, but Crimsix trying to play his life. Scump's gonna be taken out. That's the reinforcement, but Crim still dancing here around Bunker. Slack's got him weak. Slack finishes it with the nade. And that pull seems to be stopped for now. The return hasn't come in, but Octane really the only one here. Actually, he does have Methods pushing up with him.
Now, I'm curious if the subs of Optic Gaming end up switching over to Instincts or Armored, because that's 2 times now where a stun has really slowed down Scump and Crim, where they were looking like they were going to get out of Bunker, but they get hit by a stun by LG. They do a wonderful job, and LG able to get that return.
Luminosity drop game 1, but they answer back quickly in the search and destroy. Now holding a 1-0 edge with 2 minutes to play in the first half. I want to go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Luminosity.
He's still playing his life. He's playing his life. He's back cabin on the head.
He backed up. Wait, his cabin?
Pretty short. Fourth dead.
I got it.
Let's go. Nice, back right. Hurt, back right. Can you run?
He got me. Back right. I think push him try to pull it back for now.
Got me.
He's working streaks, bro.
Come here, Bunker. I'm turning outer.
I spawned.
We're good.
I spawned down.
Flag. That's hurt. That's hurt. Both flags. Nice, shoot up.
Yo,
behind me. Back our base. Back our square behind you.
Zinni's in you. He's one off streaks. Zinni's fire tank, one off streaks.
Hang on, everyone chill. Do not give him a free kill. Hang on. I'm standing from fire.
Still fire tank.
I'm gonna nade him.
Nade him right now.
Stay down.
Oh,
you and fire tank. There's 2. You and fire tank. I got one more fire tank. Methods is still there. He might push me. Holding.
I don't see anything, Nomads.
One push our back Manelli. There's 2 fire. There's 2 fire right now.
He's hitting fire alley.
Stay alive.
He's hitting it.
First, one fire.
Get him Bunker if you can.
He's gonna be in Bunker right now.
Nice. Outer Crim. Watch out.
We come back and Slack was in a tough position, had to deal with 3 players from Optic Gaming. Crimsix able to pick him up after 2 of his teammates drop, but he's got a bit of help here from Octane, and now Methods is going to call on a glide bomb. And look at this view. Everything at mid-map. He's going to force 2 into ruins, pick up the 1 cutting across, and that is the tying score with just over 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, that all started as soon as that listening starts. You see Methods able to find 4 kills. Luminosity had such a good push. It was Methods versus the whole Luminosity team. He's able to pick up 4. You heard Luminosity. We have to find Zini. He's the last guy left. He's 1 off of streaks. He's able to stay alive. Some great teamwork right there from Optic, and it looks like we're gonna have a 1-1 half.
There we go. Get to the half, and did Methods get 1 kill before he dropped? We'll have to check to see if he got anything. And then there was one other player I saw at the last second that was building towards streaks as well for Optic Gaming. But that was, remember, Optic has not dropped a respawn. They haven't dropped one. They're 11-0. They haven't been outslayed in a respawn. This would be a huge one to steal if you're LG.
Yeah, and once again, they had a great attack, does Luminosity, especially attacking that bridge side. They had the opportunity to go a 2-up in this map, but it was Methods who had such a great individual play, able to find 4 with that STG.
Okay. So Methods didn't get anything. But it was all right, so it was Krim that was close. I thought I saw 1 player that was building towards him.
And there's that switch. You see he switched over to Instincts because, once again, those stuns that come in so important for LG. Stopped a couple of flag runs. JCap and Formal, they find some kills, and now the pressure gonna be on Optic right here off the start.
Yeah, the big thing, you know, Luminosity going to a side we see more scores come from, but if Scump is able to patrol mid-map like that, he's gonna make it very, very difficult. The pressure we saw for an instant from LG is shut down, but again, like this is where this side, like if you're Optic, you just have to keep LG penned. You cannot be dealing with constant pressure, or eventually something's gonna slip through the cracks.
Yeah, and if you're LG, you want to control this ruin side. If you watch the Pro League or Arden Forest CTF all year, you know when you're attacking bridge, it starts from ruins, and Crimsix is going to be that key guy. So you see Slacked, so guns going down, able to find that one, but there's John as well. John just trying to buy time for his teammates. And there we go, they're able to clean him up. Nice shots out of John, and now it's LG's turn.
You see them fanning out now across the map. The 4th player will spawn in. Everybody popping on the other end for Optic Gaming. They're fighting to get in power positions there around bunker because they know the pressure is going to be here. It is going to be a pinched attack. Look, you have pressure from mid, pressure from Bell, and 2 people hitting towards bunker. This is shaping, well, it was shaping up well for Luminosity until multiple players drop. There's going to be 1 more. Slack picks up 2 inside. The flagpole is going to come in for John, and now they're going to hit out through no man's land. Slack's going to have to likely make a play. Is he going to get shot in the back? Can John get the edge? All right, he gets through. He gets through. This is going to be a score.
John and Slack, that SMG duo being so good right now. As you can see, they're both on a 3 streak. John, he's going to be up to 550, so we'll keep an eye out on him. JCap finds 1 on Krim, but already, you see Slack's already in another position to get a flag. It's so sneaky play out of him.
Well, Optic's going to have to deal with Slack, and they also have to deal with the 1 cap deficit. I want to hear their comms. It's a listen in now with Optic Gaming.
I got it.
I'm wrapped back.
Yo, you got it. Watch nice.
They pulled ours.
Stay there, set here. Set sneak.
Play life.
I should have swayed.
Fourth.
Nice one.
I spawn here.
Alright, 3 up.
Watch your own back.
Slack form
Play
cap.
my life. I'm playing my life.
Could be in our base. Yeah, that's the issue. They spawn
Spawn back bump.
I'm at cabin.
Come back bump.
No, he's cabin us. Cabin 1's 4th, I think.
Better bring it to the fourth.
Yo, listen, I'm pulling out smokes. I'm
Pushing.
Okay.
I don't see 4th.
Back flag.
Yo, back flag.
Broken one shot. He's going top second. John's pushing top second.
I'm alone.
Yeah, well, nice. It could be in bunkers then.
John was second.
Could be in bunker.
No, I mean.
Other flag.
Nice. I gotta push.
Other flag, 1 shot.
Hold on. I needed it.
He's literally on their flag peg weak.
Yo, Bell is open.
I'm watching Bell.
He could be inside bunker. That's the only place. Unless he went broken here.
You dead.
Nice, good shit. I have a smoke here set. There's 2 back to base. 2 back to base.
Push him. Go quick.
Listen, I smoked 4th. Get ready.
Where are we right now?
No, we're all
We're going.
Flag on flag peg.
I got naded, Sam.
Flag peg, 1 shot. Flag peg, absolute. Dead.
Nice. Play your life. Set. Play your life. Back.
Flag ramp.
We're good. Yo, listen, everyone depress right now, okay?
We're
missing.
One was
Still
he's
ice.
outside broken.
Push out bunker. Push out bunker.
Yeah.
Kick him 4th behind me.
bunker.
Yeah, there's two cabin guys.
Okay.
Cabin wall,
I ran through Bell.
I got one.
Nice one.
Nice.
Good work.
I'm
the other
top
one.
plat.
I'll see
Yo,
the other
one
one.
just stunned top plat.
I'll have wall.
One's back yellow. There's 2 guys playing defense, guys. 2 guys playing defense.
They're gonna
Cap
4D.
wall.
Alright, I'm trying to nade cam wall. Actually,
Cap wall, weak cap.
I'm trying to nade it.
Right side of it. He went into cabin.
Couple second here. Yellow, yellow, dead, one.
Nice, let's go. Oh, close. Let's go.
Captain right back.
I naded, we gotta go quick, we gotta go quick.
Yeah, watching the wrap.
I naded. He's dead.
Oh, fourth set.
I might be able to
He
get
can't
it.
see you.
I might be able to get it.
I don't think he can see-
I'm
oh,
going
shit.
right for it.
Dive.
I got it.
Got it.
Bridge. First guy bridge is coming here. It's gonna come in.
Watch dice, I'll get you. Watch dice. Fourth.
The tying score comes in, and Optic Gaming, now with 50 seconds to play and working towards streaks. Can they end this in regulation? Will we get to overtime? You see how close Methods is. Just an assist, a kill, anything coming through will likely be enough, and that could be the difference maker here in regulation or in overtime. Crimsix finds another two-piece. He's had big kills down the stretch here for Optic.
Yeah, wonderful play out of Crim and Scump. You heard that listening. All right, I'm going to pull out smokes, okay? You know, let's take some deep breaths. You know that they're going to play 4D LG. They had one flag lead. There was just a minute left. John, though, on the other side of the map, he's putting pressure on Optic. You can see there's going to be a big 1v1. John versus Octane here at Fire Alley. John, shoulder piece up, he's getting pinched as well. And he recognized the situation. Method's able to take him down. It's looking like we're going to go to overtime.
Unless we get a touch here in the next 6 seconds, that will be the case. What a fantastic first 10 minutes here from Luminosity and Optic Gaming. Clutch moments down the stretch from Optic as they can tie it up. But from the first 10 minutes, anything that really stands out to you, Joe?
I mean, John has played exceptionally well. I feel like Scump's having a bit of a slow game, but then he wins a couple of key gunfights right at the end, gets that return. It was a huge play from him.
John has just been a thorn in the side of Optic Gaming for years. Whether he was with
For a very long time.
Whether he was with LG,
Yes.
he has been battling with them for what seems forever. What a superstar he is in the CWL.
Yeah, and then if you look at sort of the AR duo of Octane and Methods, playing very well. You know, once again, they've just so consistent on these respawn maps. That's why, as you said, they're 11-0 so far. We'll see as we go into our first half of overtime. Optic, they have a 2-2 split, 2 towards Ruin, 2 towards Cabin, while LG are playing very middle-centric.
Slack gets a first pick here. Octane in position of you. He might get pushed though. Jacob's gonna hit the edge, and that's gonna be 2 down now for Optic Gaming. Crim and Methods both playing around Cabin. They're starting to get pressured though. It's John and Formal starting to push their way forward. Crim at least able to pick up a kill and kind of slow down this push that's coming in from Luminosity. But they're still here, especially if Crim ends up dropping. Sorry, if Methods ends up dropping inside a Cabin, but he's still able to play his life.
Yeah, this is a big gunfight. Formal's at that Cabin wall, but he gets swarmed by Optic Gaming members, so they fend off that attack, and now it's their turn to go. You saw what LG were doing. They were trying to get Cabin control, trying to set up that pinch. Instead, it's Methods and Crim who just hold on to that Cabin, and now it's their turn to go. All 4 Optic arrows starting to push on up. As the trades go down, you just have a feeling it's going to come down to a clutch play in the CTF.
Who's it going to be? JCap goes vertical and able to hit some nice shots there to eliminate Methods. He just keeps hopping and peeking over that back bunker, and he finds a kill through the window.
Just jumping back.
JCap made great plays there to stop the attack from Optic Gaming. But yeah, looking like a couple of rabbits there in the back line.
Slack darn in a good spot, but he gets taken down. And you can see LG putting so much attention towards Cabin side. They are happy to just waste this clock, to take it to that second side where, once again, we always talk about it, a bit more favorable. You get some more flag caps on the side that Optic Gaming's on.
Slack trying to deal with multiple players flooding up mid-map now. Scump's gotten into an aggressive position. Formal trying to deal with everything through Cabin Alley. You can see, look at that number 5 on the minimap, how pushed up he is, just waiting to make a play if anyone hits mid-map. John should be eliminated here, but the hipfire connects for a moment, but Scump does get the better of him. Scump still roaming in around mid-map and Fire Alley.
Him and Slack are just doing the opposite things right now.
Scump at 17 and 22, but has definitely had some key plays at mid-map to retain control for the Optic Gaming side. Almost halfway through this first side of overtime, and not really an opening yet for either team.
And it's just due to LG's playstyle right now. They're not taking any big risks. They're making sure they have Cabin control. Same thing with Optic. You can see that first player up. That's Octane. He's making sure they control Ruins. For both of these teams, that's where they'll start their attacks. Now LG in a very good spot. They have Optic Gaming trapped in their base. Octane and Slacked into a bit of a one-on-one, but here comes John and Formal. They find some kills. Scump now, he's trying to back on down. The smoke comes in from Luminosity, but the trade's just back and forth, and Optic are just trying to buy time, just wait for those spawns to come in, but actually Scump, he's able to get through. He can make the play, but he gets weakened up by Formal, down to 1 versus 1, and John wins it. But does he get stunned? Does he get naded?
He's going. He's going.
They're looking like he's going to get out.
He should be good. Everybody trying to fight off spawn right now. Nobody able to make their presence known from the Optic Gaming side. And in overtime, it's John and Luminosity that get on the board first.
Almost some very weird timing that goes down towards that ruined
Wait,
side.
you mean John and Scump as they were kind of dancing around there?
Yeah, if Formal doesn't spot him, even puts a couple of bullets in him, I think he ends up
absolutely
getting that reach.
Well, John only got to the flag because of the timing, but then it almost worked out for Scump for the return. But like you said, Formal and John able to work together there to make the play. So now 3 minutes on the clock here.
It's a lot of time.
Can John get streaks? This is huge. This is massive right now. He's got 2 flag scores in the game. He's on a 3 streak currently. He's 50 points off. That is not a fight you're going to want to take.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Okay, gets Methods in the tree stump with an AR. Just maybe try to bait Formal here. Well.
Oh, it's a big kill. John gets taken down.
Oh, he does drop. You're right. He is going to fall, so no streak's going to be coming through.
Now Formal, the last player up for Luminosity, does win a big one-on-one versus Scump. Can't find the second, so Octane, he's gonna control Cabin, and this is good for Optic. You can see the LG members are trying to get pushed up so they can't fight through Ruins, but Methods already top Ruins right now in a great spot.
Nice grenades.
Coming in
Nice grenades.
from Luminosity. You can see Slacked and John, that SMG duo, just trying to work this side of the map.
Crypt6 here, just patrolling mid-map. Kind of waiting for his players to come off the spawn. Can't take that gunfight. Looked like he had the edge, but Slacked able to get the better of him. Can they find Octane as well, who's playing kind of at their back cabin rock? Methods tries to get into the position there from Bunker, but gets dropped almost immediately. They push out Octane, and now the flood is going to be on. You have 2 players up from Optic, 3 now pushing in for Luminosity. John will drop first. JCap and Formal now trying to make the play, but Krim, how many times have we seen him make a play like that where he kind of flanks in through the side on something like Flak Tower, makes the play, stops the push, and here comes the 4-man tide of Optic Gaming.
Oh, that's a big gunfight right there out of Slacked. Slacked playing so well, had a bad game 1, stepped it up in game 2, and has brought it here to game 3. Him and John are just making sure Optic Gaming can't push through that ruined side of the map, and it's so annoying for them. And what that allows them to do, it allows them to push through this cabin alley and flank those ARs of Optic Gaming. But Krim and Methods, they get some kills, but Krim tries to push up by himself. He gets taken down. Now it's Methods' turn in the middle of the map. And
it's just so tough when you have someone like JCap or a Formal that spawns up in that back line when you have an AR. Slack, and let's talk about how he's turned it around, man. Especially from the game 1, he is absolutely picked it up, and you talked about the fact that he typically plays well against the likes of Optic Gaming, and now we're under 60 seconds to go, and Octane is in behind.
Yeah, but they noticed. You see all that spawn come in from Formal. They have to know there's an Optic Gaming member behind him. JCap and Formal trying to hunt him down. Octane, able to find one, and there we go, but Formal backs up. Great play from Formal to recognize the spawn situation that comes in. JCap and John get kills. 40 seconds left. Luminosity just have to hold on for one more push.
Do they even get one full push? Because his Methods drop, they're going to be staggered. And look at the position you're getting on the map from John.
That could be it.
This should be it. John not able to win that gunfight, though. Optic still maybe a breath of life, but they have got to go. There's just no time to work with. Slack, Formal, Cap, they find kills, and they are going to take a 2-1 edge in this series. Unbelievable stuff. There are many people that have written off this LG team with some of their performances recently in Division B, but they're showing up right now on the main stage with a massive 3-2 victory in overtime. Wow, Joe. I don't think many saw this series going this way, and a reminder to those watching at home and those in the venue, that is the first respawn loss for Optic Gaming at CWL Anaheim.
Yeah, and it just comes down to a couple of key plays, as well it typically does in CTF, right? A couple of one-on-ones. You saw that one in overtime with John. And it was really John and Slacked on that map, just controlled the pacing for Luminosity. They continuously won gunfights in that Ruins area. It just shut down the Optic attack for them.
And how good does this have to feel for LG? I mean, obviously you have not won the series yet, but there were a lot of chatter. I didn't want to know what Formal's mentions were after that first series.
I probably would have deleted
after the 3-0, and everyone saying this change isn't going to work out for LG. They looked just abysmal at times, honestly, recently. You get 3-0, but now where it matters here with $200,000 on the line at one of the biggest events of the entire year, they are showing up in a huge, huge way. Let's take a look at the overall best of 5 and give you a little bit of a reminder how the series has gone, and also take a look at our final 2 maps if needed.
Yep, so Optic Gaming, they take that map 250 to 168, but then Luminosity responds 6-4. And if you're just joining us, you missed an overtime thriller as Luminosity able to clutch on up. They played some great defense on that second half, held off for 3 minutes and 11 seconds, gives them that 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, we're going game 5.
Probably.
Optic's been so good in hardpoint, so good in that particular mode. Yes, LG has definitely had some flashes of brilliance. They played people tough. They have some nice victories in that particular mode, but I just feel like this has game 5 written all over it, buddy.
I mean, this is the Luminosity that we expected. Obviously, the early success from the roster changes goes the way of Optic Gaming, but you saw at the end of the second week for LG, it seemed like things were clicking, and the more matches they play, the better they're going to get. That's how we always felt with the core of this roster. They were so consistent all year long. As soon as Formal was able to turn it around, we knew this is what was going to happen, and it's really JCap, or John and Slacked in this series have stepped it up big time.
Well, if they win the series, I think the turnaround happened quicker than we thought it would.
Yes.
And even think back to Friday, you know, they're getting pushed to a game 5 by Epsilon. You know, they're not looking at, you know, unbeatable by any means in some of their series. I think where it sort of maybe clicked for me that the team might be hitting a different level was that 3-0 over TK to kind of end the night, which shook things up big time. But again, series is far from over, I think. Far from over.
Yep, Hardpoint Valkyrie loading on up right now. There's Slacked on your screen. If you look at his game 1 performance compared to his game 2 and 3 performance, it is night and day. He stepped it up big time. Was a key factor for LG.
And he took a lot of flack. You know, he had a tweet after the trade went down with Octane and Formal that said, I can't wait to, what was it, let me get my hands off the game, or I can't wait to face them, whatever it was. And, you know, after they got 3-0 swept, I'm sure his mention's getting flooded as well. But now, here, on the main stage, buddy, can they close it out with a 3-1 victory? Are we going to go the distance here to a game 5? We haven't had the 100-point club yet for the free tacos. I definitely doubt this is a series it happens in, but crazier things have happened, Joe.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of matchups.
I really am too.
Especially today. I was like, it's going to happen. We're going to get some free tacos.
All right, guys, here we go. The second hard point in this best of 5. LG, if they can close it out, they will take this winners round 1 and move on to top 6. On the other side, Optic battling here to push it to that final map, that game 5. All the pressure on the line. We got a full venue here. The chants are starting. Let's get it going, buddy.
Yep, and off the break, a pretty solid job by Luminosity. They win some initial gunfights. They try to get pushed up towards that operations bunker. Why? They want to flip those spawns. They want the top side of the map where Optic Gaming is spawning right now. Scump and Crim, well, they find some kills. So does Octane. It's just pretty back and forth as we would expect on this ventilation room.
Optic Gaming enjoying control, at least for a moment here. Slack tries to hit around the outside, and the combination of a stun there, able to find the opening. Luminosity will battle back in, but talk to me, Joe, about what you see on the minimap right now from both teams' positions.
Yeah, so you have Octane all the way in the back. He's making sure nobody goes all the way around. You have one player in the window. That was Crimsix, and Slack, he actually waits for that pinch. So what Scump was going to do was trying to go help, you know, Methods and Octane in the back, but he ends up getting caught out, gets caught sprinting. Now you just have Octane, number 7, just trying to stay alive. You have a 1 versus 1 with JCap. JCap able to win that one, and look at that. LG flip those spawns. You already have streaks from Slack. He's on a 5 spree, and he's going to find a couple of kills right here. Well, or a tree.
Yep, that tree just got destroyed.
Yes.
That's one way to cut it down. All right, well, that won't connect, but I think it's worth mentioning. Look at these plays from Slack. Almost chops down all 3, but John there for the trade. Slack started game 1 nearly quadruple negative, now quadruple positive, and look at the difference in the scoreline. I know we're only 2 hard points in, but that has to be a sign of great things for LG.
It has to be, and we saw after map 1, you know, we had the camera on him, and he looked pissed off, and, well, he's turned it around ever since then. He's winning those 1 versus 1s. He's 9-2 right now. John finds Crim as well. If LG can win this rotation, which is looking like it's going to happen, the only player over here is Methods. It's going to be Methods versus JCap. Optic, they spawn out. This is bad news for Optic Gamer right now. Methods has to try and hold on. Here comes the LG push. He's able to find one, but here comes Slacked. Octane on this side of the map. He has this STG, but LG do a wonderful job right there on that rotation.
But great job there from Octane. It looks like Luminosity control for a moment, but those 2 kills cut it down, and now Optic getting much needed points. You know, it was all LG early and often in this one. Finally, a semblance of control as Octane and Methods, the newcomers to Optic Gaming, combine for a couple of kills. Octane has 3 in a row. We'll keep an eye on him at 9 and 4 as he tries to build towards streaks. He's well on his way. Well, man, he gets cut down by JCap.
Yep, great job by Luminosity with 25 seconds left. They recognize the situation. They start to go towards that office hill. You can see all 4 of those blue arrows inside that building. A couple of key gunfights going down right now. But that was a big break by Optic early on that storage bunker. You feel like if that goes the way of LG, they can start to build some streaks. You talk about artillery strikes all the time on this map.
Oh.
Things can get ugly.
Yeah, it could have been like a 120-10 type game as well. Like it would have been very, very different scoreline. But now it's office control for LG. All 4 stacked up inside. But look at the kills that come in. One is actually a team kill for Optic Gaming.
1v1.
Now a 1-on-1. Yes, Octane going to be going up against Formal inside. We've been talking about this matchup throughout the course of the past month, and Octane able to win it there with the PPSH.
The good thing for Luminosity is there's just 30 seconds left. So yes, Optic does have office control. They're going to try and contest a little bit. JCap finds 2, but he gets straight out. Another team kill comes in, but Optic, they still have control of this hill. And well, with 15 seconds left, we're going to head over towards that smokestacks area. And Optic Gaming, they're hanging on by a thread. You know, these past couple of hills, LG, they had that initial period, but Optic, they come up, clutch up now, starting to heat up, but Slack still has full streaks. You imagine he's going to call him in now.
It seems like Luminosity can't get everybody going from a slang standpoint. Remember, Formal carrying early in the map 1, now Slack going off, and everybody kind of straggling behind a bit. But let's get the smokestacks. Optic will have a 4-man presence here, but you mentioned the streak still available here from Slack. They want to get it done with the guns and the nades. John and JCap combined to pick up some kills. Now a streak going to be called in. That's a mortar outside of school. That's going to, wow, land directly. Just pound Methods and Octane into the dirt. But they're spawning close there in school, so they can keep trying to reinforce this. Finally, LG artillery usage on this particular map.
I am a little bit. Maybe it's a thing where he had it on for like a CTF on Arda and Forest, but forgot to switch it. So with 10 seconds left, JCap wins that 1 versus 1 on Octane. We're gonna head back towards that ventilation room. So a pretty back and forth map number 4. But early control of ventilation, you have Methods inside. And you can see what Optic's trying to do. They're trying to make sure they get those spawns for that second hill as well. But here comes that pinch from all 4 sides. You see those blue arrows. This is going to be a tough push for Optic to hold.
And they're not able to do it. You saw the players inside for Optic, heads basically on a swivel, right? They had to deal with all 4 entry points, like you stated. Now it'll be Slacked, and 2 other members of Luminosity that are able to get inside. Scump and Methods trying to do what they can, but it's still LG holding. Now a 30-point advantage with 30 seconds remaining, but Octane wants none of it. Another monster 3-piece from him. There's the ×4 multi-kill. He's building towards streaks as well. They keep pushing in. Octane just keeps cutting them down. Another streak comes through, and finally he drops. But what a superstar moment from Octane.
It was. You know how we talked about map number 1? He hasn't had to, go Octane mode where he goes double positive.
Well, there's a reminder
in the hill. He can do it.
Yeah,
he
there's
can
a reminder
do it
he
at
still
any
can.
point. 23 and 11. But LG, they only give up that glide bomb, but that glide bomb's going to be called in right now. He's going to find 1 kill. Here comes that push. All 4 green arrows are going to start to push on up. LG, hold on to those back spawns. Methods trying to find a kill on the Formal and John, but Formal and John do a wonderful job. Now it's their time to try to get pushed up.
That's his leg, John. That is his leg. He did not notice the leg. Maybe he thought it was a dead body or not paying attention to that part of the screen, but Formal getting it done as well as he finds a couple, in Luminosity starting to open up a lead yet again. They're about to hit the 170 mark. There's 25 seconds left or so here, and God, you get all this time. I think you know why Optic's taking a crack at this. They know how scary it starts to get.
Oh, it definitely does, but you see arrows 6 and 7, that's Scump and Octane. They already start to rotate. JCap, he finds a couple of kills. He's having a pretty solid performance. But about a 70-point lead as we head on towards that storage bunker. This is a big hold for Optic. If they lose this one, LG can be very close to closing this game out. So Slacky's gonna find that first kill, but immediately traded by Krim. That's a solid setup. Now it's Formal's turn. He's gonna push up these stairs. He gets taken down. So now LG a little bit staggered here. It's gonna be very tough to break this one.
Optic need a fantastic hold here, and so far so good. They spawn Luminosity out. They get into power positions to hold them at bay. They're starting to flood in. There's still a ton of time on storage bunker. They want to take another push here. That's 3 kills. They go to LG. That is such an easy clear. They just bullied their way in, and that was required time for Optic Gaming and John close to streaks. How does that break happen so easily?
They just pushed through that office side and they overwhelmed them. You see on that scoreboard, they were at 10 kills in a row, were Luminosity. The slaying power not there for Optic. It has not showed up. Yes, Octane having a great game, but the other three are not. And John's starting to take over. He's on a 6 spree. He's gonna put the artillery down. He's thinking about, yeah, he's gonna put it down front. He's trying to make sure they can lock down this office. This will put the game away. As once again, I love the play from LG. They hit the backside. They win this rotation for office.
And we saw John do this in a hard point earlier today. He ended a game on a 10 streak. Rain streaks from the sky, shut the opponent out. Now the fighter pilot finally comes in. Slacks had that in his back pocket. LG just 15 seconds away now. The grudge match.
And John still on a 9 spree. Slack, as you said, finds 3. He's having another big game. Just 7 seconds needed. Trying to close it out right here. Is Formula able to find one on the methods? Just trying to lock it down. Just 2 more seconds. There's the final kill. And Luminosity take the series 3-1.
And shocking. Look who's on his feet. Formal.
He's fired up, baby.
Getting his revenge. It's from Luminosity. I think if you would have saw a vote on Twitter or asked the analysis, there was nobody taking LG in this match. Any pro player I talked to, no one was taking them in this match. And they win that convincingly with a 3-1 victory. Wow, incredible stuff.
Definitely so, and I think for Luminosity, you get Optic on a 3 submachine gun map, where Methods has a bit of a slower game. He's been, what, #1 in respawn KD throughout this event? He has a very slow map #4 at 17 and 23, really everybody besides Octane, but once again, you take 2 ARs away from them, maybe they show a little weakness.
Wow, that was just, we weren't sure what series we were going to get. I mean, you and I casted the first one, right? We casted the 3-0 that happened, and there was a fear inside me that's what was going to happen again. Like, it wouldn't be much of a series, just be a quick 3-0, but once it got tied 1-1, you know we were in for one incredible series, and it just ends up being LG that come out on top. And you got to feel really good as a Luminosity fan because you've looked weak. But you know, I've talked to the players. They've been talking about what's been going wrong daily, just trying to figure it out. You know, it almost feels like Formal's been trying to learn the game from scratch in many ways with this team. And now they get a huge victory. They're looking so strong. But guys, for your PlayStation instant reaction, it's the man that came back after a poor Game 1 performance and took over the series. It's Slacked.
Thanks, Maven. Congratulations on the victory. You did get 3-0'd by Optic during stage 2, so how does it feel to come right back and 3-1 them?
It feels good. I mean, the league we use as practice, and it's all that matters. I mean, we came down here and we were going to perform and we're going to play our game, and I'm just happy with how we played. We've been practicing and practicing and practicing, and it feels good to finally put it together. We knew we could do it, and we finally did it.
And in those practices, what adjustments have you made since stage 2?
Honestly, we just had to basically adjust playing with Matt. He's a lot different AR than Octane, and we had to play to his strong suits. And a lot of the maps we were bad at with Sam prior, we're good at now. So as the league went on, we just kind of learned that, you know, we got to switch up our vetoes. We got to play maps that we're just going to be good at as a new team. And that's what we've been doing. That's why we banned Gibraltar. We lost it to him in the league. Banned Gibraltar, played sub maps, and it paid off. Great.
What does this victory say to any doubters who may have written off Luminosity?
I mean, you can keep doubting us all you want. We've been grinding and grinding and grinding. The league's practice, and we're here at the tournaments, and we showed up. I said I wanted to play them at a tournament. We beat them, and we're looking to win the whole thing, just like I did last year.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the interview. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. We'll be right back after this quick break.